The movie begins with two thieves breaking into a museum to steal a rare gemstone. But before they can make their getaway, a whisper echoes through the dark. One thief is suddenly hurled across the room, and out of the shadows steps a boy in an ant suit. Antboy. With lightning-fast reflexes and insect-like strength, he knocks them both out cold, ending the robbery in seconds. This young hero is Pell, a normal kid with extraordinary powers. After his heroic act, he hides his cape beneath his jacket and sneaks into the cinema to meet his crush, Ida. She shyly asks him to the school dance, but before Pella can answer, screams echo outside. Duty calls. He rushes off, leaving her puzzled. At the skating rink, a shy girl named Maria is being bullied by older kids. Just as the crowd laughs, Antboy storms in, stopping the cruelty. He breaks a hockey stick with his teeth, tosses the bullies aside, and helps Maria to her feet, returning her broken glasses. Grateful, she invites him to her school party, unaware that Ida has already done the same. That night, Maria returns home to her inventor father, Mr. Muss, who's working on a strange red jacket, a device that can make its wearer invisible. The machine fails, leaving him disheartened, but Maria's curiosity lingers on that shimmering coat. Meanwhile, Pele deals with the strange side effects of his powers. His body's chemistry is so acidic that he can't even use the bathroom normally. His genius friend Wilhelm invents a capsule to help. But Pele's mind isn't on science. It's on Ida and his new admirer, Maria. At school, Pele sees Ida talking with a new boy named Christian, who clearly likes her. Jealousy stings, but before Pele can sort his feelings, news of a bank robbery breaks out. He cancels his plans and races off to stop the crime. That same night, Maria dresses for the party, still hoping her hero will show up. But at school, Pele finds himself torn between Ida and Maria. He ends up embarrassing himself on stage, changing the music and getting booed. Maria waits in a corner, humiliated, realizing Antboy never came for her. Heartbroken, Maria trashes her room in tears, accidentally breaking her late mother's perfume. Among the mess, she finds her father's discarded invention, the red invisible jacket. When she tosses it in frustration, it suddenly glows and vanishes into thin air. She stares in awe, realizing it works. Somewhere else, an old villain known as the Flea, once Antboy's enemy, hums alone in a psychiatric hospital. Meanwhile, two curious boys break into his abandoned lab and find jars filled with strange beetles. When one bites them, they collapse, infected with new superhuman powers. The next day, Pell is mocked by Christian, who tells him he's too ordinary for Ida. Dejected, Pell later spots the two mutated teens, now calling themselves the Terror Twins, destroying cars in the street. He suits up to confront them, but their strength overpowers him. Just when things get worse, their powers suddenly fade, and they flee. Watching from a tree invisible, Maria smirks. She now knows Antboy's secret identity. At school, Pella confides in Wilhelm about the new villains. They suspect the Flea might still be pulling strings from his asylum. But Pele's day gets worse when his pants suddenly drop in front of everyone, turning him into a laughingstock. That night, strange things start happening in Pella's room. His teddy bear moves, then talks. Toys begin floating. The bear's limbs twist and detach, as if haunted. Terrified, Pella runs to Wilhelm, convinced he's being chased by a ghost. Wilhelm studies a video of the incident and spots a red blur in the background. He theorizes it could be the goddess of vengeance, a spirit from folklore. The boys arm themselves with ghost hunting gadgets, thermal goggles, EVP recorders, and electromagnetic detectors, ready for the next encounter. The next day at school, Ida tries to comfort Pell about the embarrassing incident, but things go wrong fast. His coffee cup suddenly flies out of his hand, hitting her. Thinking he did it on purpose, she storms off. Wilhelm, using his goggles, spots a third heat signature, someone invisible. They give chase, leading them to a parking garage where the invisible attacker, Maria, now the Red Fury, reveals herself. She ambushes Wilhelm, then vanishes again. Antboy follows her trail into a building filled with broken furniture and shattered posters of himself. He discovers her father's lab notes and learns the secret of invisibility, light. Before he can process it, Mr. Moose enters, startling him. Thinking he's Fury, Antboy threatens him, only for Maria to knock over a bookcase. Her father sacrifices himself, taking the hit meant for the hero. Pele calls for an ambulance, guilt washing over him. Meanwhile, Maria, consumed by anger and revenge, visits the Flea in the asylum. The mad scientist introduces her to the Terror Twins and teaches her how to amplify their power with plant serum, just as Antboy fuels his strength with sugar. As Pell tries to move on, he attempts to confess his feelings to Ida, only to find her with Christian, who serenades her with a guitar. Heartbroken, Pele almost gives up being a hero, but Wilhelm reminds him that the city and their friendship still need Antboy. In the abandoned house, the Terror Twins train under Fury's command. She manipulates them by pretending to be a vengeful ghost, using her invisibility to strike fear. They pledge loyalty to her, eager to destroy Antboy once and for all. Late at night, Fury sneaks into Pele's room and swaps his glucose candy for sugar-free chocolate. The next morning, Pele eats it and suddenly feels weak and dizzy. As he collapses from a tree, the Terror Twins capture him easily. Meanwhile, Christian organizes a vegan rally, pretending to care about animals while secretly enjoying his popularity. Ida's phone rings. It's Wilhelm. He shows her a photo of Pele tied up and held captive. Without hesitation, she rushes to rescue him. Maria starts a live TV broadcast, preparing to unmask Antboy in front of the entire city. Just as she's about to pull off his mask, Wilhelm and Ida cut the power, plunging everything into darkness. Inside the asylum, the Flea watches in fury, realizing his plan is collapsing. In the chaos, Wilhelm uses his heat vision goggles to find and free Pele. The weakened hero admits he's lost his powers. Wilhelm checks his suit and realizes the chocolate was sugar-free, the reason he's powerless. Fury attacks again, knocking Ida unconscious and locking her away in a smoky room. Desperate, Wilhelm searches for sugar while Fury hurls dishes and furniture at Pele. Her rage is unstoppable, until Pele catches her scent and realizes the truth. Fury is Maria. He apologizes, admitting he never meant to hurt her, but she runs off crying, torn between anger and guilt. The Terror Twins return to finish the job. One slams Pele into a wall, while Wilhelm battles the other, desperately dodging blows. In a hidden corner, Maria, still invisible, hands Pele a chocolate bar. "You'll need this," she whispers. Sugar floods his veins, and Antboy rises once more. With renewed strength, he smashes through his enemies. A single punch sends the giant flying across the room. Wilhelm finishes off the other twin, while Antboy rushes to save Ida, who lies unconscious and barely breathing. He performs CPR, begging her to wake up, until she finally gasps for air. The battle ends in peace. Maria forgives Pele, and the three become allies. The Terror Twins are sentenced to community service, while the Flea, still scheming in the asylum, feeds his mutant plants, plotting his return. As the snow falls, Antboy and Wilhelm skate with Maria, laughing again. But when danger strikes nearby, Pele suits up once more, this time with Red Fury at his side. Together, they leap into action, ready to face whatever comes next. If you had Maria's invisible powers, would you use them for revenge or redemption? Tell me in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this epic story of friendship, betrayal, and second chances, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the next adventure.